How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today's kind of just going to be a little bit of a in the life of / vlog. We're going to get the car ready later this evening to go to Placerville this weekend, as long as everything checks out. But as of right now, we got a few things to do. We got to go pick up some oil for the motor, an oil filter, and I think we need to go get some other odds and ends. We're going to cap off the right front brake. That way we don't need to replace some parts. And I don't really think I need a right front brake anyways, because it was running a lot better with 3 brakes instead of 4. So maybe in the future we'll put it back on, but we're just going to get a plug. But other than that, follow along. Let's go get some things and let's get this car ready to race. Got the goods for lunch here. We're set. Alright, we got the goods from Jersey Mike's. Gonna go meet Whitney for lunch now. We already picked up the oil filter, and then after that we're gonna go get some other things, then head back to the house. Alright, so you can see behind me, it's a little dark, but we got the car up on the stand so we can drop it down onto the scales. We're gonna record what we had at the end of the race last weekend. I really liked the feeling of that car, especially when it was earlier in the night when it was kind of hooked up. I wasn't pushing so hard, so we're gonna get going here on the scales. Then we're gonna change some things. I'm gonna show you what we have done and what we're gonna change, and see if we can get some more speed out of this thing. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick what we just did here. Holy cow, that's a lot of sun. So we had a lot of weight on the car, and now we're taking it off. Let me show you. All of that was on the car. That's a lot. I mean, these are freaking heavy. You can see compared to my hand. All of that was stacked on the left rear. You've probably seen it before in videos. So we just took that off the car, and of course it changed across and everything, and that's what we want. So we're doing a little experimentation now. We're gonna take all that weight off. We're still above weight actually by, hate to save, like 200 pounds without me, or no, with me in the car. So without me in the car, we're like 100 some. So that's good. We're getting closer to weight, and still got a little few things to touch up here and there. Got to change the fluids, change the gear, and all that good stuff. But we're making progress. All right, so we got a little bit of a oil change going on here. It doesn't matter how you do an oil change. You can prepare to do it the cleanest way possible. It's always going to go everywhere. So the good news is changing the oil is spotless. Like, it's super clean, and it's running good. So we're trying something new, and it's working. So changing the oil filter, then the plug. So kind of a freshen up on the motor. Just freshen her up every about 4 races or so, or unless we think we need to do it sooner. But staying on top of it this year, and she looks really good. So gonna go ahead and get this changed. If I look like a mess, I am. It's freaking hot, and oil went everywhere, so that's just what happens. So we got the weight off the car there, scaled up, ready to go, changed the oil. The oil is a slight bit overfilled, I think. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty dark. Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but the plan with the right front is we need a plug for this, so we can just plug this line, and I could not find one today. I went to all the stores in Reading, no one had it. So I think what we might do is just put this up in front of the motor to keep it out of the way and protected for the weekend if we go race, and that way we don't have any leaks or anything like that. It'll just kind of be there, and this breaks off anyways, so it shouldn't even be in use. But that's the plan with this. Got to change the air filter. Just gonna nut and bolt it real quick, so if we do go race, we're ready to go. And we got to charge the battery a little bit, but for the most part she's ready to go. Just kind of the odds and ends now. You may have seen on the video these gauges were cutting out over here. Fired it up, was messing with the wires, could not get them to cut out. So car was still running. That's the good news. Just got to kind of figure out what's going on there, but just a little tiny things to take care of. So as you can see behind me, we have the car lifted up out there. It's currently probably like 9:15, 9:30 p.m. In the best interest of safety, we're gonna call it. We're not gonna go to the race this weekend. There's a dent on the inside of the rim of where the brake caliper had come off. I think it's totally runnable. That's not the problem, but it's a combination of a few little problems that I think is why we're doing what we're doing. Having that caliper come off brought to our attention on the other side that the bolt in the thin nylon or nylock that it goes through is this. It's very small, and it just barely goes to the tip of the thread lock, barely, and just not, I don't feel comfortable about it. Whereas the rear end, we can run long bolts that have a lot of thread left, and we can run the full size nylock, and they're tight, plus they have a lock washer on them. The backs are good. The fronts, on the other hand, I just could not find a cap for that, so we would have had to run that brake caliper behind the radiator, and then this one we would have had to wake up in the morning and go try to find a new bolt that barely goes through, but then it's like a millimeter away from the brake rotor, and I don't know. I don't think I can personally race as hard as I possibly could, knowing that my car is not 100% safe, and that's just something that's always constantly in my head. You know, I am fearful of wrecking. I don't want to wreck at high speeds. I don't want to have an equipment or a part failure, and that's just something that does scare me. So I think in the best interest of safety, we're going to go ahead and take this weekend off, regroup, get the car in perfect running condition, make sure she's 100% safe, and then take her down to Antioch on the 19th. So that's just what we're going to do. I think we're going to take it home, get it up on the jacks, pull everything apart. Not everything apart, just, you know, pull the tires off and then go over the rotors, so we can probably get a new brake rotor, and that way we can put better bolts on the front so we don't have a problem like we had up at Southern Oregon, because had that happened at full speed, that could have been so much worse. So the fact that it happened under caution was a blessing pretty much. So with that said, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and load it up and then bring it back to my house. It's getting late, I'm tired, I'm ready for a shower, it's hot. And I think this is the right call by myself and my dad together, that we're gonna go ahead and wait. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and get it loaded up. Well, rig's all loaded up, going back to the shop, and that's gonna be it for the night. So thank you all for watching. Sorry we're not gonna race tomorrow. I really wanted to, but out of the best interest of safety, it's just best to call it. So with that said, next video is gonna be coming out that we're gonna go ahead and try to get her all wrapped up and ready to go for Antioch on the 19th.